Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at everything you need to know about Libra. So very excited to be getting into this particular video. This video is for you if you have a lot of Libra energy in your natal chart, or maybe you have one or two placements and it's going to resonate. Or if you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the ultimate basics. Libra is ruled by the 7th house, the planet of Venus, which is the planet of beauty. Libra is a cardinal air sign. What does this mean? All of the cardinal signs are the initiators. The cardinal signs represent the beginning of each season. So all of the cardinal signs are going to be very much initiators in situations. We'll get into that shortly. The body part that Libra does rule is going to be the hips, the lower back, and the kidneys, which is interesting because I've been assigning a particular chakra for each of the signs. For Libra, I was thinking the crown chakra, but we're also going to say the sacral chakra because it does deal with this area of the body, and it actually makes sense because from my observations, the sacral chakra does deal with the feminine energy, which is associated with the creative energy, and that's really what the Libra energy is all about, amongst many other things. So overall, Libra does represent beauty. If you have a lot of Libra energy in your natal chart, you're going to be interested in things like fashion, beauty, makeup, these types of things, art of any kind. But now what's interesting as well is with Libra energy, it does deal with balance as well. They deal with justice, they deal with the legal system, legalities, all these sorts of things. They deal with negotiations. Something that's not talked about enough with the Libra energy is they also deal with business. People who have a lot of Libra energy in their natal chart are going to be very good business people. They're going to be very good at negotiating. They're going to have a lot of connections. They're very likable. The Libra energy is very likable, and they're very good at keeping their connections. That's really what it is, because Libra energy is the connector energy. You have to look at Libra energy as like the party host. That's really what the Libra energy is all about. They initiate the party. There's the initiation energy happening in there. So they initiate the party. They're the ones who say, hey, I'm having this event. I'm having this party. I'm doing this networking event. However it might manifest, and everyone comes to them, and then all those people connect with each other through the Libra person. That's really what Libra energy is all about. It's all about connecting people together. Now, what I find with a lot of these signs is that whatever they represent is exactly what they're working toward. Doesn't necessarily mean now just because Libra is the sign of balance that they're going to be the most balanced. In fact, what tends to happen is most of the time it's the exact opposite of that. Libra as an energy is striving for balance throughout their life, and all the signs bounce off of their opposition. So Libra's opposition is going to be the Aries energy. With that being said, when they were growing up, there could have been a lot of conflict. There could have been a lot of not harmonious energy in their home. And again, it doesn't mean that the Libra person is going to be the most balanced. They're seeking balance. And like I said, unfortunately, most of the time they do turn out to be very unbalanced because they're meant to master exactly this. That's the thing we have to understand with all of these signs. Whatever they represent, they're here to master exactly that thing. So Libra, one of the things they're here to do is to master balance and harmony. And you'll notice as they grow and as they age, and once they do master these lessons that the sign has basically brought through for them, they're going to be very fair. They might not even engage in any type of conflict because again, there's a lot of conflict probably when they're growing up, and in general, just environments that are very much not harmonious is really what that is. And also what happens a lot of the time with the Libra energy is, again, they bounce off of their opposition, which is Aries, which is all about conflict and anger, and the Libra individual might really suppress this energy within them. So they're basically meant to learn to also find ways to express their anger, obviously not explode. But a lot of the time when a Libra individual is underdeveloped, or you guys might be more unaware that you have this energy within you, first of all, you're not going to be balanced because again, you might go through these extremes trying to figure out balance. That's the first thing. But the second thing is you might have a lot of repressed anger, so you might be explosive. Because the thing is, what tends to happen with the Libra energy is they tend to be like, oh, I want to keep the peace or whatever. Maybe in the chaotic home when they're growing up, they're the ones who are trying to keep the peace because again, there isn't peace within the home because they are the sign of peace. So because of this, it might turn into a pattern where they're constantly trying to keep peace around them. And for this reason, it's like they suppress things, they let them slide, they let them slide, they let them slide, and then boom, it all comes to the surface over like a bag of chips, for example, like whatever it is, right? It's usually going to be over like the smallest thing. The Libra individual is going to explode, and then it's like the people around them are like, wait, why are you behaving like this? Because they're coming out of their natural role, which is to be the peacekeeper. So it's going to be really important to figure out ways to express and vocalize things that bother you, because also Libra energy does deal with the people-pleasing energy. This is a huge thing with Libra energy, and also Libra does struggle with boundaries. There's a lot of things going on with the Libra energy, and also on top of everything, Libra energy is the 7th house. It's opposing Aries, which is the 1st house. Aries is the house of the self, the identity. You'll find Aries energy to come off very selfish. A lot of the time, Libra people are going to attract Aries people into their life, or just people who exhibit Aries-like qualities in terms of independence, not caring, doing their own thing, maybe like not caring about other people's feelings, whereas like the Libra person really cares about all these things. So a lot of the time, again, when the Libra's not balanced, they attract these people into their life, and they might feel like the people they're attracting are very selfish. But the Aries energy, your opposition, is teaching you exactly that. Not necessarily to be selfish and not care about other people, but to learn about yourselves, to create a strong solar plexus, to learn about who you truly are, because the thing is with the Libra energy, they're creating their identity through other people. This sign is all about interpersonal relationships. Now it's going to be friends, romance, it's going to be business partners, your colleagues, all these sorts of things. You guys are very good at having interpersonal relationships, but a lot of the time the Libra person, the question is, who is the person without the people around them? That's the whole thing. So a lot of the time, like, you see memes and things like this where it's like they're joking around about Libra placements, like picking up on like traits they like and adapting those traits to be who they are. But it's like, it's true. I guess we can add solar plexus in there for the chakras as well, where it's like you guys are really meant to learn who you guys truly are, because otherwise you guys are constantly going to be getting lost in other people. The Libra energy always struggles to be alone and be on their own, which again, the Aries energy is teaching you guys how to be on your own, how to have strong boundaries, how to be okay with being alone. So because of this, a lot of the time the Libra energy might struggle with things like codependencies, enmeshment with other people when it comes to relationships, and not knowing who they truly are deep down inside. That's what all of this really ties into. And it might, tie into things like not vocalizing your needs in relationships, and again, playing that character that keeps the peace and everything is great and you're nice, and it's like then all of a sudden you explode and the people around you are like, wait, hold on, you're coming out of the usual, persona that you have, like what's going on here? Why are you acting like this? Or why are you behaving this way? Or you're acting so erratically, like all these types of things. But it's more so like you've conditioned the people around you to see you in a certain type of way, where it's like you don't say anything, you keep everyone happy, and everything's nice and all these sorts of things. And it's like, and then you switch out of that and it's an even bigger shock is really what it is. So like I said, boundaries are going to be a huge thing. Something that I've noticed with the Libra energy is like, because most of the time they are placed into chaotic environments when they are growing up, basically what was coming through in general for people who are people pleasers, it's like these individuals, if they keep everyone happy around them, that means mom and dad are going to be happy when you're in your home. Like, it's a subconscious thing that does take place, because again, it's kind of like there's just so much conflict usually that does take place. Again, maybe you were a single parent household, but I'm sure you guys get the idea. So this is the whole thing. You guys are going to basically have to work on people pleasing, not to be too much of a people pleaser, figure out who you guys are, what your true identity is, because there's so many beautiful aspects to the sign, but it might take some time to figure out who you guys truly are. The individual who has the Libra energy really is who they are because of the people who are around them and the people they surround themselves with. It's really important to master the shadow aspects of all the signs, just so that pattern doesn't perpetuate throughout all of your relationships and life in general. For Libra energy, there are a few other shadows. You guys can be very prone to gossiping. This could happen. You guys can sometimes actually create a problem yourselves and then be the savior in the situation. That could also happen with the Libra energy, where it's like you guys accidentally transport a gossip from this person to that person, and then you like fix the situation, so you guys end up being the hero. Another thing with the Libra energy also, from what I've observed, is they do tend to fall into this pick me type of energy. I feel like this word is just overused these days, but they always really want to be picked. So what I've noticed tends to happen with Libra energy, it's like they might enter into a friend group, and for whatever reason, whoever like the two best friends were, like one of them is going to become best friends with a Libra person. It's like subconsciously they're always wanting to be picked by other people. It could even happen in relationships. This is more so subconsciously when it happens, not if you guys are doing this intentionally. Don't do it intentionally, but it tends to happen subconsciously. It's just like wanting to be picked energy. So that could be a shadow trait of Libra. It's something that does happen over time. Again, I don't think it's really with malicious intent that they do this, but it is something that does take place, because again, Libra needs people around them, and their personality is created through the people around them. It's the 7th house. It's all about interpersonal relationships. So you guys are really here to master interpersonal relationships, but also be balanced in this area, where it's like you guys are able to balance all the friendships you guys have around you. And another thing that can take place with this energy is they can have backup people all the time, where it's like if this plan fails, they're going to go to this person. And this can happen a lot of the time in terms of relationships, like romantic relationships or just like dating and all these types of things, where it's like they have a backup person. Because the thing is with the Libra energy, it's like, it's not that they can't operate on their own. They really do struggle to do this. They're always looking for a unit. You'll see people who have Libra energy, especially if it's in like the personal placements, they're always going to be looking for the one. They're going to be all about romance. They're going to be all about love. But it's like sometimes what they do is like they take this idea of the one and they put it on the wrong person. Sometimes Libra can get sucked into like a fantasy in terms of like, oh, we look so good together. Things like this, where it's like you end up in situations longer than you should. Realistically, you should have never even really been dating that person to begin with, and now like a whole drama has happened. Libra is really that unit energy. They need to be in a unit of some sort. You'll always notice Libra energy in a unit, whether it is with a partner, whether it is with a friend. This is what I was saying, like in terms of friend groups, they're always going to try to create a best friend for themselves. It's that solar plexus chakra that they really have to work on, and Aries is going to be teaching them this. And unfortunately, what happens a lot of the time with the Libra energy, especially when they're underdeveloped, they do attract the selfish people who do drop them, because it's like Libra pours so much of themselves into all of their relationships, whether it's a friendship, whether it is a romantic relationship, and most of the time they end up in situations where that person technically doesn't deserve them. It's really the fear of being alone with the Libra energy. Now, another thing that I wanted to touch on in this video is the tarot card that Libra is represented by. It is the Justice card. Makes sense. It deals with balance, it deals with justice, the scales of justice, and throughout your whole lives, the Libra energy is always going to be seeking justice. You guys might be advocates for like human rights issues or like animal issues, or anytime you guys see someone who's maybe being unfairly treated, you guys are going to jump in. This is why Libra placements make very, very good lawyers. They're always able to see things from all perspectives, which again could also be to your detriment in terms of conflicts where it's like, oh, I'm gonna let it slide, because it's like you get where that person's coming from. But really, if you think about it, again, it's that same shadow trait that Libra constantly perpetuates, where it's like they put other people ahead of themselves. So usually because of the type of upbringing that Libra has had, or just like a lot of conflict that they've had to deal with early on in life, and it could be things like friends turning on you guys and all these sorts of things, you guys are always able to see things from all perspectives. And as you grow and age, it's not necessarily that you guys avoid conflict. You guys age, is just like you're over it. You know, you guys don't want to engage in conflicts. You guys want to communicate. You guys want to talk things through. You want it to be peaceful. That's the thing. So it's like if there's topics that are maybe controversial, you guys might not engage in this because it's like it's just too much energy. You guys just feel like it's going to waste a lot of your energy. And by the time you've grown and matured and become aware of this energy, it's like there's just been too much conflict that's taken on in the earlier part of your life that you guys usually won't engage in any sort of controversial topics, characters, like anything that might be happening in the news. And on top of all of that, it's like you see things from all perspectives, which really you guys can take as a positive or negative thing. So you'll see Libra placements very good at negotiating. Like I mentioned, you guys can be marriage therapists. You guys can be things like divorce lawyers, just lawyers in general, helping people with their relationships, or just shedding light, a different perspective in a situation. Let's say you're talking to your friend, you can say things like, oh, well, if you look at it from this perspective, it can happen like this. You guys are always going to find yourselves mediating between groups of people. Like even when you're younger, it can be between your friends, the Libra person in a friend group, or even in an office, for example, with your colleagues, or just any type of work environment. Everyone's going to come to the Libra person. The Libra person is going to be like the holder of all of the information that's taking place in the office. And again, sometimes this can get you guys into sticky situations, whether it's your friends or again your colleagues. The Libra person's very good at making people think that they're on their side, and then if the people find out, they're going to be like, I thought you were my side, I thought you were my side. Or you guys might be trying to create peace in whatever the environment is. Now, another thing with Libra is you guys are going to be very intelligent, very charming. You guys can fall into the manipulative shadow of this, where it's like you're using this to your advantage. You guys are going to be very good salespeople. You guys can sell water. That's the thing, because you guys create connections with people, and that's what sells. People are going to feel connected to you, and through that, people are going to purchase your product. Libra energy also does deal with duality. They always understand that there are two sides to each story. They're very much about masculine, feminine energy balance. A balanced Libra person might come off very androgynous to people, where it's like they're able to dabble into both of the masculine and feminine energies within them. Honestly, when a Libra person is balanced and they've achieved and mastered that particular sign, you guys are able to basically do whatever you guys want, because you can apply both masculine and feminine energies into your situations, which is really the ultimate self-alignment if you think about it. But overall, the Libra energy, I always see them as the party host. They're the connector. They're going to have a lot of friends. They're going to be very chatty. They're going to be very charming. Sometimes they can even be funny. They're going to be the negotiator. You guys can connect other people together. You're always going to know someone for whatever task that they need to be completed. I'm going to wrap up this video here on everything you guys need to know about the Libra energy. I do hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.